we have to harden our schools, not soften them up. A gun-free zone to a killer or somebody that wants to be a killer, that's like going in for the ice cream. That's like, here I am, take me. We have to get smart on gun-free zones. When they see it says, this is a gun-free zone, that means that nobody has a gun except them. Nobody's going to be shooting bullets in the other direction. And they see that as such a beautiful target. They live for gun-free zones. And, I mean, frankly, you have teachers that are Marines for 20 years and they retire, they become a teacher, and they're Army, Navy, Air Force, they're Coast Guard, they're people that have won shooting contests, and they're for whatever. This is what they do. They know guns, they understand guns. And I frankly have been reading a lot about it, and I think when you allow a person who's been in the Marines for 20 years, who's done nothing but handle guns and handle them safely and well, because you can't just give a teacher a gun. One of the fake news networks, CNN last night, was saying, I want teachers to have guns. I don't want teachers to have guns. I want certain highly adept people that understand weaponry, guns, if they really have that aptitude, because not everybody has an aptitude for a gun. But if they have the aptitude, I think a concealed permit for having teachers and letting people know that there are people in the building with gun, you won't have, in my opinion, you won't have these shootings, because these people are cowards. They're not going to walk into a school if 20% of the teachers have guns. It may be 10%, or maybe 40%. And what I'd recommend doing is the people that do carry, we give them a bonus. We give them a little bit of a bonus. Frankly, they'd feel more comfortable having the gun anyway, but you give them a little bit of a bonus. So practically for free, you have now made the school into a hardened target. For instance, if the coaches, who I guarantee had plenty of experience with weapons, if they had guns, you need a hard, because no matter what you do to keep them gun-free, they'll be able to get in there and they'll crawl through the back of a window or something. And you're going to have everybody again without any protection. So I know where you stand on it. You want a hardened school. And I want a hardened school too. I want to know that if they get in there, they're not going to be alone, because it's going to take 10 minutes for the police to get there. The police do an incredible job in getting there. I guess it averages about 8 minutes, but the shootings average 3 minutes, and that's tremendous destruction and death. So I would like to see true people with great talent at guns and being adept at guns, of which there's only a percentage of people. But whatever that percentage may be, it's a substantial number. Because you can't hire enough security guards. You can't hire, the school, your school as an example, Christine, you'd need 100, 150 security guards. That is a very big school with a tremendous floor area. You can't have that many. Who wants that many security guards standing all over the place, loaded up with guns? But you could have concealed on the teachers. They wouldn't know the people. Nobody would know who they are. And it is a tremendous threat. And by the way, instead of advertising, this school has no guns, we are gun-free, you let the people know the opposite. Nobody's going to attack that school, believe me, because they're cowards. They don't want to be shot at, and they're going to be shot at. So not everybody agrees with us. I know how you stand, and a lot of people do agree with us. But I think we need hardened sites. We need to let people know, you come into our schools, you're going to be dead, and it's going to be fast. And unless you do that, you're going to always have this problem. You can talk about your gun-free zones. We had a case 3 years ago at a military base where 5 Marines, I believe, 3 of whom were world-class shots and experts at guns. They were told there was a gun-free area within a military base, if you can believe it. If we can't trust our military, who are we going to trust? You know what I'm saying. 5, they were they put away their guns. Their guns were in a different section. Totally gun-free. Their guns were 250 yards away from them, where they had to store them. And they went in for lunch, and a wacko came in and shot the 5 of them. He wouldn't have lasted for 3 of these people were world-class marksmen. He wouldn't have lasted for a second. But they stood there. There was nothing they could do. All 5 were killed. You know the instance I'm talking about. That was at a gun-free zone on a military base. Well, a school is frankly no different. I want my schools protected just like my banks are protected, just like everything else. And I get a kick. I was watching a politician, weak, ineffective politician last night. I'll tell you his name, but I don't want to embarrass anybody. And he was talking about no guns, no this, no that. And yet he's surrounded by 3 guys carrying guns. I said, well, when are they going to give up their guns? They're not going to give up their guns. But he wants everybody else to have no guns, all right? And you have plenty of them. So we have to harden our sights. We have to be very careful. And these people, as adept as they may, they have to go to training, I would say every 6 months or every year. They have to have a fairly, really a rigorous course in what they're doing. And they should be paid extra money. Those teachers should be paid extra money. So they get a bonus, and they'd love getting that bonus too. And it would be much less expensive than the guards. It wouldn't look bad. If you have guards, it looks like you have an armed camp. That would look terrible. Because people are talking, we're going to put a lot of security guards in the buildings. It would look terrible. And it would be much more effective. But I'll tell you what, if you harden these sites in that way, or some other way in a similar fashion, not only teachers, coaches, there could be other people that work in the building. If you hardened the sites, you're not going to have this problem. Because these guys who lack courage will never go into those schools. Those schools are going to be safe. But when you say a school is gun-free, it's got no guns, no nothing, it's gun-free, boy, that's what they want to hear. So I agree with you, Patrick. Strongly agree with you.